helping seniors of Brevard. Joe Steckler still recovering from his knee transplant surgery, and hope to have him back here in a couple of weeks. But right now, filling in is Kerry Fink. Hi, Kerry.
Hey, John Harper. How are you doing today?
Wonderful. And it looks like we have a good show on tap for today.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Helping Seniors car raffle for several different reasons, John. As you know, Helping Seniors is a Florida 501c3 nonprofit organization, and the only way that we're able to do the work that we do is through the generosity of the people who support the work of helping seniors. That has to do, of course, with a lot of businesses and organizations throughout the community who understand and respect the importance of our seniors. But also, to be honest, it's a lot of individuals who support the work. In fact, we often say in Brevard County, you either are a senior because of the population and the demographics, you love and care for a senior, or even if you're younger than that, God willing, you're going to become a senior. So getting involved in the work of helping seniors on all fronts is so important. And John, as you're a long time, you've been with Joe since really the day he founded the organization. And also we have another very long-time friend of Helping Seniors, serves on the board. I think you're actually the secretary, right, Jennifer Helin?
I am.
So Jennifer is a board member, just like you, John, with Helping Seniors of Brevard. And of course, those of you that know Jennifer, and I think just about everybody in Brevard knows of the great work that you guys do through Seniors Helping Seniors. So welcome to the show today.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And let's go ahead and finish introducing our guest for today. Is also another great friend of Helping Seniors. It's Charisse Durham with Hibiscus Court Assisted Living and Memory Care in Melbourne, Florida. How are you, Charisse?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me.
And we have to tell a little story as we get into this. First of all, I was trading emails last night with Joe, and Joe was actually talking yesterday about potentially trying to make it to the show, but he thought he better maybe give it one more week. As you know, those of you who have followed Joe, our president and founder, he is like the most tireless fighter for senior advocates. I mean, he's a senior advocate bar none. I mean, he going back to the days when he was building up the Alzheimer's Foundation. He created, they call them Joe's Clubs to this day because of the work he did in establishing senior daycare here in Brevard County. He helped the Brevard Alzheimer's get their initial endowment set up. And 10 years ago plus, he set up Helping Seniors because he said, Kerry, he said, there's more than just memory issues that seniors are having to face, and we need to help seniors think about ways that they can meet all the challenges they're going to face. So they set up the Helping Seniors information line. And Jennifer, maybe for just in case somebody may be new to Helping Seniors, let's talk about what the Helping Senior information line is and what it does for people.
Well, the information helpline is a really important resource here in Brevard County. It is a local helpline that you can get a variety of resources. Call Kim. She can help with anything from hearing aids to healthcare, housing, home care, assisted living facilities, anything a senior faces, any problem that a senior faces, she has a resource for. And we all work together to make sure that those resources, that you don't just get a phone number and that's it. She almost acts as a case manager, really making sure that people have exactly what they need. They get in touch with the right people. And she always follows up to make sure that they did really solve the problem.
You know, I've had that people have said, oh, you guys are the senior information helpline. You taught me something I didn't know. You said there was actually a senior helpline at one time preceding Helping Seniors, but it ceased being a local number, and that was one of the reasons why Joe said we really need to establish this now.
Absolutely. It was back at the downturn. They, grant programs dried up, went away, so that number went away, and they did continue it on in some sort. There was an 800 number that you could call, but you would get Orlando, and they really didn't know our Brevard County resources, which is one thing that I've been really impressed over the whole COVID thing. Kim has kept in touch with a lot of the different nonprofits, churches. She knows exactly who's doing what. You know, there are programs that were stopped or there are programs that were created because of COVID. And she really kept on top of that to know exactly what was going on, and the changes week by week.
No, absolutely. Charisse, you've seen the work of the Helping Seniors hotline and where Kim has really been able to make a difference in terms of helping seniors move forward with challenges they face.
Yes, she is fantastic with her communication, not only with getting the information from seniors and getting to the root of what would solve those issues for them, but she's also great at reaching out to all of the other organizations. You know, we recently had a situation that was very, very difficult, and she, composed a fantastic email and sent that to several different organizations and sources. And it was really just hey, I'm hitting brick walls. Help me with this family. Help me with this situation. And it just brought all these brains to the table that have knowledge and expertise to be able to help that. So, it's not just that talent of knowing and what's going on, but she's also a brain trust, and she has such a network to increase that brain power.
When I hear people talk about the Senior Information Helpline, they say, what does helping seniors actually do? If I buy a car raffle ticket, if I go on y'all's foundation cruise, if I send a donation in when Joe sends out an annual drive letter, what am I actually donating? What is the service that you guys provide? And we always explain it is that Senior Information Line is really the first plank in everything we do, because people say, well, yeah, but there's lots of, I can just call over here and get a number of things like that. One of the things that I've seen is that because I hear the calls all the time where somebody will say, listen, I've been trying to call this place for 12 ways from Sunday, and it's press 1 for that, 8 for that, and I can't get a person who cares, and I don't know, and I'm stuck in this situation. And because of Joe and his expertise and Kim and her expertise, sometimes they have to put they'll scratch their heads and put their heads together, but they'll figure out who to go to get something positive to happen. I've seen it time and again, right, Jennifer?
Absolutely, because Kim has all of us, within the senior industry behind her. So, if Kim doesn't know where to go, she'll call one of us and say, who do I talk to get this? And one of us will know. So it's almost like having a friend in the business. You call Kim, she's going to know, or she's going to know who else will know. And we are able to get right down to the exact person and phone number that's going to be helpful.
Yeah, and I was going to say, John Harper, I was thinking John is actually the person who introduced Joe Steckler to radio. We were joking the other week. For a long time, we've been saying Joe is probably the longest running talk show host in Brevard County, because he's been at senior radio for like 20 years. And then we were also talking about, wait a minute, by at least some days, I guess John Harper preceded him, because John is the one who introduced Joe to radio and helped him start to get the words out back in Brevard Alzheimer's days. But John, I was going to ask you, because you've really seen Joe work tirelessly through the years to make sure resources and help exist for seniors. And this Senior Information Helpline is such an important tool because seniors, they move in at an incredible pace to Florida. People are always coming to Florida. They really don't move out of Florida, right? So they come to Florida, and then people are trying to figure out, well, who do I call? What do I do?
Well, it's interesting to note that Joe had the vision, the insight to recognize that our area and the state of Florida, but specifically our area, was going to be in need of some type of a advocate for seniors to get that information out, to disperse and connect with the many different agencies that also exist out there, and to have one central point to have seniors go to, which did not exist. There have been, as Jennifer, I believe, mentioned, there have been some attempts by other organizations to start some type of a senior information line. There has been 211, that's been around for quite some time, but from what we've learned over the years, very lacking on a lot of their information for seniors. So this has been a great opportunity for us over the past decade to really develop an organization that has a specific mission, one specific interest and focal point of what we're trying to do to get the word out to help seniors, because as you said, Kerry, there are so many in our area that are in need of more than just health. Health, of course, is a key factor, but all other different types of organizations that exist out there, being able to get that information out. Barbara McIntyre comes to mind as far as what she can do to help people with refinancing their mortgages or buying back their mortgages through her company, things like that. And it's local, and it's a big help to a lot of seniors that wouldn't have any other place to turn.
Yeah, John Harper, I really think that you hit one of the key points is this thing is local. You'll hear people talk about laws being made in Tallahassee. You'll hear people talk about things in Central Florida. And Jennifer, I think early you brought up the fact that by having this local information line, and Joe has been very effective, I think, at finding people who not only know about resources for seniors in this market, but really truly care about seniors in this market, just like you guys do with Seniors Helping Seniors. And so together we're able to solve a lot of problems.
Absolutely. And having that local knowledge is so important, and knowing exactly who to go to, not just give a number out, but know exactly that, hey, this is the department that you want to talk to. This is the person. Here's the name. And a lot of times I know Kim will call herself and say, this is the problem. Can you reach out to this person, instead of, it being the other way around?
Yeah, and I was thinking it's sort of the same thing when I think about Charisse and the great folks over at Hibiscus Court. You guys have been in this market for 22 years, which is, you're not like just a come lately kind of place. You really know this market. You know the people. You know all the resources, and you guys have always had such a reputation of not only being a safe place for seniors, a great residential community, but also a fun place too. And it's just interesting how you've worked together with everybody in the community so that you guys know who to go to and how to help seniors in many levels as well.
Yeah. Hibiscus Court was really a pioneer in Brevard County as far as assisted living goes, because the concept of assisted living is not that old.
Right.
And so we've evolved over the years. We've learned a lot of lessons with having memory care and assisted living. We cover kind of the spectrum. But one of the other things that we've done through our ability to network with resources and other assisted livings, other agencies, is be a part of the community and do a lot of community service. And that's one of the things that attracted me to Hibiscus Court is they take a great pride in being able to give back to the community. It's not just about business, it's about doing the right thing for people. And generally speaking, I get the first phone call in, and generally speaking, no one is calling us because it's a good day. There's some type of emergency or something has changed and they need something. And so luckily, one of my favorite things is that I am able to say, you know what, we're not the right place, or I'm not the right contact, but give me a minute and let me look up some stuff and I'll get back to you and help them anyway.
Yeah, that is really what is at the heart of all this, is building that network. And, Joe Steckler, our president and founder, he's often talked about creating an aging plan. And so one of the things about an aging plan is, John Harper, they tell us, when we start out, we're going to school. They say, what's your plan when you grow up? What's your job? What do you want to be? Blah, blah, blah. Then when you get into your adult years, they say, well, how are you saving for your retirement? Are you going to think about sending kids to college? What are the things that you want to do? So you make a plan for that. And then Joe says, well, when you finally get to the age when you're going to retire, do you have a plan for aging? And he's talking about way more than just money. He's like, do you understand the things that you may be tackling as you go along?
Let's also, Kerry, not forget to mention one of the individuals who has been with the organization a long time, and that's offering elder law advice, opinion, and that's Bill Johnson, providing a great service to our community, a great attorney specializing in elder law.
No, you're 100% right. And that's the thing. So when you're building an aging plan, you need a team of resources. Isn't that what you do? You go out and you find the best minds that you can, and you learn from them, right? Because we always also joke that aging is on the job experience, right? You can't really, the best you can hope to do is maybe study and get ahead on your aging plan. So that's what we were talking about is, like when we've had this conversation many times, Jennifer, Helin, that when when Seniors Helping Seniors is a great place for somebody to start, because you're kind of like the entry level as people realize I might need to start thinking about some things that have not been part of my way of thinking before. You guys are a great first, kind of foot in the door kind of thing.
We are, and we do get a lot of those calls where people are just thinking and maybe not even really wanting to have help in the home, but thinking that they are to that point where it's coming very quickly. So we do a lot of education. The licensing is very specific here in Florida. We're considered a homemaker companion, so that is the kind of the first rung on the ladder of that continuum of care. So we do anything that's non-medical or hands off. And so, I remember being in that position years ago with great grandma and thinking, oh my gosh, I have no clue in the world what to do for her.
Right.
And so it's nice now to have the knowledge to be able to sit down with families and say, all right, this is what you're in for. This is the future. Here's what you need to start thinking about and making plans. And then having that team, having the elder attorney, having some knowledge of, okay, if I have to go into an assisted living facility, where do I want to go? Do I want to be in a place like Hibiscus Court? Because it is a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And with that, with the initial step in with the in-home non-medical, there's such a continuum that you, as long as you're planning and educating yourself and making those choices and utilizing resources like Helping Seniors of Brevard, you're making choices ahead of time for your in-home non-medical. And then there's sometimes a need for personal care. There might be, a hospitalization, a rehab, a assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing. There's so many different things. And I just absolutely love those families that call and say, hey, we're just talking about it for later, but we want to get our head wrapped around this, because we're all on the same road. This is all the same path. We are all going to age. And you have so many detours off this one road and choices that if you don't take any of them, you're going to end up with the road out ahead. That you're gonna have a crisis that, had you looked at your options before you got to that point, it would be way easier to navigate. So looking ahead, making those choices, getting those resources, and Helping Seniors of Brevard is absolutely single-handedly the best resource if you just have general questions about any of those elements. And it's always better to plan ahead than sit in crisis and try to make a very difficult and emotional decision.
Speaking of detours and roadmaps as far as where you're going and what you're doing at Hibiscus Court, how did you and the staff plan and look at uncharted water, so to speak, 7 months ago when the COVID-19 virus first hit, and everyone, all of the other types of businesses, such as what you're in, had to, scramble and come up with a game plan on what to do with your residents. How did your organization go about doing that?
Well, first, we took everything very seriously. So, if you remember when this first started, some of the experts would say, well, maybe we should do masks, maybe we should do hand sanitizer. Social distancing idea came a little later. Testing, all this kind of stuff. We were just getting bits and pieces, and it changed. But we took it very seriously, and everything they said, well, maybe this might help, we just took it and said, absolutely, 100% across the board, we're doing all of these things because our residents are, they're our family, and we treat them as we would our family. So we kind of went above and beyond in the very beginning, which helped us stay COVID-free. Throughout this whole thing, we've only had one resident with COVID, and she contracted at the hospital. We were able to successfully quarantine her. She was recovered and is doing beautifully. So throughout this whole process, to only have one that we know exactly where it came from, all of our staff was trained, and we've screened, and we all took it so seriously, even when we weren't at work. And that has been really the thing that has made a difference for us. But on the inside, we've always been, we call it hashtag Hibiscus happy. So one of the things we really had to do was say, okay, let's really talk about this impact on our residents. And if you live out in the community, some of the things that we think of as being impactful as far as COVID goes weren't relevant. We don't go out to restaurants as frequently as someone that lives outside, of a community. We were used to seeing the same people all the time. We were used to this lifestyle of being a little bit in a bubble. And so that helped us. But then we had to really think about, okay, how are we going to keep the same services and enjoyment of life with all these new rules? So things like social distancing with dining, that is a big social time for residents. So making that where we utilized every space in the community so that we could bring as many residents and still do social distance dining. So it was still an interactive time. And then activities, keeping everybody's spirits up, keeping them engaged in activity. We're known for all of our activity. Paige and her team they've always done a great job. I mean, we have such longevity at Hibiscus. 17 years, I think Paige has been there. So really looking at all of our activities and saying, how can we make this work? And so our Friday fests are a big thing. We usually have live music twice a week at least. So Friday Fest, we just had to say, okay, you know what, let's do this. So maybe we load everything up on a cart with music and food and interactive things, and we go from room to room to room. And what that did was it kept the activities lively and engaging. But one of the positives that has come out of COVID, and there are a few, is we were spending more one-on-one time with each and every resident. Mm-hmm. So even if it wasn't a resident that, because of mobility or personality or whatever, that wasn't engaging to the highest degree, what we learned by modifying what we were doing is we were actually serving individually better. And I think that some of those good things will change with us. We also jumped on all the technology very early. We did Zooms and FaceTime and all of that kind of stuff very early. We did window visits very early, but again, pulling in all the things experts were saying. And now we've opened to visitation. That has been, planning ahead. The governor announced it, and it took us about a week and a half to really get the plan in place. But it was because we needed it to be perfect, and it's working out beautifully, and all of our families are able to come in and see their loved ones again. And, we just roll with the punches, but do it with tons and tons of caution.
Well, certainly Hibiscus Court, a beautiful facility. We've been there many times with various functions, filming radio and recording TV. I got that wrong, backwards. Good, John. You should do a talk show host, right? But no, a beautiful facility. But you and your staff really had to go out of the box, so to speak, as they say, and come up with creative and innovative ways and means to work with what you had, to work with your residents, and to ensure that their safety was number one, but also ensuring that their level of happiness continued to be number one as well. So I'm sure it was very difficult. Did you consult a lot with other similar types of facilities around the state to see what they were doing? We
definitely did. Senior care, one of the things that we find with specifically assisted living is it's not one size fits all. They are all very different. The brick and mortar can be different. The level of care can be different. The perfect facility is out there for everyone. You've just got to kind of find it. And there are, I think, 175 in Brevard. Wow. And that's a lot. But yeah, we utilized all of our relationships. 22 years, we've got some great people. We were able to reach out to not only other assisted livings, but skilled facilities, a variety of different experts in the field. We are part of many guardianship associations, part of Florida associations to do with assisted living, and Community Service League of Brevard, and all these different networking groups.
Yeah, it's hard to think of anybody that is as community-minded as you guys have been. So we're actually up on our half-show break. We are going to come back, and we are going to talk car raffle next. We've had some fun this morning. We're going to tell you all about it right after the break, John Harper.
Wednesday, that means it's Joe Steckler Day, helping seniors of Brevard. Joe is still recovering from his knee surgery, but hopefully he'll be back with us next week. But right now, filling in for Joe is Kerry Fink.
Hey, good afternoon, John Harper. It's good to be back on the second half of the Helping Seniors program. And we've been talking with Jennifer Helin of Seniors Helping Seniors. Welcome back, Jennifer.
Thank you, sir.
And Charisse Durham with Hibiscus Court. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
And before we go farther, let's share some phone numbers. Let's give everybody just half a minute to grab a pencil and a paper. But we want to make sure that as we talk about stuff during the second half of this show, because we're going to talk about the Helping Seniors car raffle, which is a great fundraiser for Helping Seniors. We want to talk about that, but we want to give everybody a chance to write down phone numbers and information so they can get really better acquainted with the great work that you guys do in the community. So let's start, Jennifer, with Seniors Helping Seniors. What's the best phone number, and how would somebody get in touch with you, and what would they ask you when they call you?
All right. So give us a call at 321-722-2999. And we would be happy to help. If you have a question about home care, if you're ready for home care, thinking about it, any questions related to home care, give us a call. We'd be more than happy to talk. We'll even come out, we'll do a free assessment just to see what the needs are, if there are any other resources that should be brought in. You know, we often go out, do assessments, recommend Aging Matters come into the house to do the grab bars, possibly a ramp. And we'll, if we're not a good fit, we might recommend another company that, you know, could do maybe hands-on or another type of service for them. So always happy to come out and help.
You know, and I was going to tell you that I think, this is just a guess, but I would assume now in the COVID world, you know, maybe you have adult children living someplace else in the country and they're used to coming into Florida and checking up on mom or dad, and maybe just right now it's not as practical to be able to do that with all the travel restrictions and who knows, you know, from week to week following the right guidance. So I guess a lot of times you guys are getting calls from people who are concerned about taking care of mom or dad, where they just, maybe even they're local and they just can't get out the way they have been able to in the past.
Absolutely. So we have seen an increase in phone calls for exactly those two reasons. The out-of-town kids that normally would have flown down once a month, maybe from New York, and they've not been able to do so. So we're going in and kind of being their eyes and ears and making sure that we're communicating so that they know mom is safe and being well taken care of. But also our local folks. So I'm a former teacher, a Brevard County school teacher, and we've got a lot of teachers who are taking care of mom and dad, and they don't want to go in the house right now because of everything and their increased exposure. They're having us go in instead so that, you know, we're all seniors. We really do hire seniors to help seniors. So we are socially distancing. We are being very careful. Our caregivers are. So we're a little bit safer to go into the house.
Good. And one more time, the phone number for Seniors Helping Seniors.
We are 321-722-2999. And I'm actually going to put a plug in too. If you are a senior that's looking for a really great part-time job, come and please talk to us, because we are looking for caregivers. We really have seen an increase in the need for home care. So if you are a senior looking for, like I said, a really fun part-time job, give us a call. Yeah,
and you guys are so kind and such gracious people. I would think it would be an excellent place if you've got some time and a heart to help. It would be a great connection, I think. So one more time, that phone number.
321-722-2999.
Okay, and Charisse, when we're talking about Hibiscus Court, now you guys, it's interesting because you guys stay essentially almost full all the time, but yet life goes on and people need to get acquainted with you guys and understand the options that are available and really sit down and have that conversation. So who should call you and how do they get in touch with you?
Well, you know, we in normal times, we also have a day program, much like the Joe's Clubs. And it is, a lot of times it's the first step in to experience an assisted living for the day and then, you know, see what you think. But really anyone that is concerned about a lot of different things that go on with senior care. So, you know, med management is a big thing. And, you know, that is 24/7. If you're taking medications all over. If there is any kind of issue with ambulation, personal care, cooking, a lot of times seniors that come to us, though, they're ready to live that cruise ship lifestyle 24/7. You know, the meals, the laundry, the housekeeping, it's like living on a cruise ship with the activities and all the things that we do. So anyone that's really transitioning into that, either I need it or I'm ready for it because I want to. Another thing we do a lot that people don't realize is a respite care. So if someone has gone to have a surgery or been at a rehabilitation center and maybe their days have run out there, they can come and stay with us for 2 weeks, a month, and have that 24/7 support as they recuperate and just try it out. So really anyone that is looking at needing or wanting that type of lifestyle, we do operate at a very high occupancy, and that's all the more reason to be shopping early on, because sometimes it's a balance of timing and availability of what you want. And we're just having those conversations. I'm very excited because we have been able to reopen for tours, and what we are finding is a lot of people were hesitant through COVID to, make that transition, even though it might be needed or wanted. And now that we're available to tour, people really just needed to see eyes on. So bringing in all those tours is keeping us very busy, and keeping our residents safe is a priority. So there's a lot of protocols that go on with the tour. But we're touring, we're having these people come in, and what we've learned is that assisted living communities that have done it right, and statistically all of them, it's actually safer to be in a senior community than it is to be touching everyone on the outside world.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we bring so much to that person that they don't have to seek. And we've found great success throughout COVID. We've had, several new residents that have joined us, and we're just keeping on with that tradition of a high level of care and customized service. And it's really been a unique situation, but we're coming out of it beautifully, and can't say enough about all of the community support that we have had. Specifically, last week was Assisted Living Week, and we had so much support, people that brought in things and really said thank you to our team. The direct caregivers, the nurses, the activities, the housekeeping, the maintenance, everybody has brought their A game for so many months, and appreciating them was a real joy last week. So, I really like sharing our community. It's my favorite thing to do, because I can say there are heroes that work here, and look at how special these people are. And so thanking the team, and, again, just like Jennifer, we've seen different challenges. So, we're hiring too all the time, because it takes a very special person to fit into our community. But when they do, they are so thanked and appreciated. Our residents appreciate them. We appreciate them. It's just a really positive community all the way around.
Yeah. And so what's the best number to reach you?
They can always call us at 321-951-1050. And any questions, we're here as a community support too. So if there's some specific assisted living questions, like what can you do, what can't you do by licensure? Are you the right one for me? I mean, with 175 in Brevard, I can say, okay, maybe we're not the right one, but let me steer you to this one that I know is great. Or here's some things that you might want to ask as you talk to multiple assisted livings. Here, first and foremost, I'm a senior advocate. So I want those seniors and their families, adult children, to feel very confident in whatever choice they make, because it is all about relationships. It's all about trust.
And that phone number, one more time?
321-951-1050.
And folks, I think one of the things that I really am so appreciative about the team that Joe has brought together over the years who support and are part of the Helping Seniors family is that you guys, while you have businesses and obviously you have to run your business successfully or you can't go on, you really seem to care about the seniors. It's not just let's sign another deal or something like that. You guys are really, I've seen each one of you hand off somebody to something that would be more appropriate for the senior, even if it didn't result directly that day in business for you guys.
If you are doing the right thing by the seniors or the right thing for the community, the business will come. You don't have to worry about it, because good people, good things come to them. It is a very karma situation, but it's better for all those concerned, do the right thing for that one individual.
Yeah, and that actually is the whole story behind helping seniors is Joe. Some people say pay it forward. Other people say give it back. However you want to look at it, getting behind and supporting the work of helping seniors is really a good thing, because in this county, we operate the county's information helpline, like we talked about in the first half of the program. But Joe, as you know, has also always been very media outbound. That's why he started the radio show together with John Harper all those years ago, as a way to get information out as technology and things move along. We do the TV 3 times a day on Space Coast Government TV. We're out there with our own YouTube channel, of course, and we even in response to COVID, we started Helping Seniors Updates, which is a little social media update 3 times a week to try to keep folks in touch with what's going on currently for seniors around Brevard County with all the COVID restrictions and everything. And then, as you know, you can barely pick up a newspaper or something in Brevard County without Joe and an article advocating for the needs of seniors. He's in Hometown News a couple of times a month. We publish the Helping Seniors newsletter in the Senior Scene magazine every single month. It goes out up to 14,000 copies and 500 pickup locations, I think is what Kim was telling me. All around the county, we started a Helping Seniors directory so people can easily find trusted services for seniors. There's so many things that Joe has led the initiative for us to be able to do. But folks, we can't do it without your help. And that's what we're going to talk about. Something fun, the Helping Seniors Car Raffle. Now, as serious and poised and everything as we've been on the radio today, it sort of belies the fact that we had a whole lot of fun already this morning.
Oh,
and
yes, we did.
and I want to ask everyone to mark this down, since, remember, we asked you to get a pencil, a piece of paper so you could take all this good information down. So let me start. I'll give you our phone number again for Helping Seniors. It's area code 321-473 7770, 321-473-7770. But I also want to share with you another reason you want to write this stuff down is because October 10th is the date of the Helping Seniors Car Raffle. But even before then, we have a couple of surprises. And one of the great surprises that I want you to write down is 10:30 Saturday morning. That's 10:30, September 26th. We will be out at the American Muscle Car Museum with something fun called the Dodge versus Chevy Challenge. And we're going to get into the story in a minute, but we were all out at the American Muscle Car Museum getting ready for that. In fact, giving you guys some test drives already to get set for the Dodge versus Chevy Challenge. But let's back up a notch. Jennifer, do you want to kind of explain, because you've watched it over the years as Joe has done these Helping Seniors Car Raffle. Talk a little bit about just the car raffle in general and how it works.
So the car raffle is a lot of fun, and it's grown over the years. In the beginning, we started with a donated car. Mm-hmm. The next year, AJ Hires graciously donated one from his private collection.
Yeah, that beautiful 51 Ford.
That was amazing. And then last year, we started giving the choice of what you could win, and we had 3 different vehicles that you could choose. And the lucky winner did choose the Dodge Challenger last year. This year, we've got 4 cars, so we've upped the ante even a little bit more, so it's very exciting. 4 cars. The winner gets to choose which car they would like to have. It's $25 for 1 ticket, mm-hmm. or you can get 5 for $100, which is really your best bet, because, last year, the year before, we were able to go right into the Muscle Car Museum and had a blast, but we had thousands of people. Yes. Tons of food. It was a great crowd. Night out, but this year we won't be allowed to do that because of COVID. Yeah. But really hold on to those ticket stubs, because next year Mark has graciously offered to open the Muscle Car Museum for us 3 different times. Mm-hmm. He's offered pizza and drinks so that we will still be able to get in and go through the Muscle Car Museum. So you are, really helping seniors by buying that ticket, supporting the work that we do with the senior helpline. You could win a car. And like you said, for $25 to drive away with one of those cars, that's not a bad deal at all.
Great deal.
Great deal. Hey, Charisse, I was going to ask you, you got a chance to see, because we actually, as we were getting things set up for the event on Saturday, that you can see on Facebook at 10:30 a.m. Saturday. So you go to Facebook, Helping Seniors of Brevard, Helping Seniors of Brevard, and just find us. And actually, we would ask you to like and share that page with your Facebook friends. And you can also, by the way, see this on our YouTube channel, which is Helping Seniors of Brevard. But we had all the cars out there actually this morning getting set up and testing stuff out for that. What did you think about all those cars out there today?
I had such an adrenaline rush. My heart could not stop beating just out of my chest with some of the fun stuff that we did. I mean, we've been at the American Muscle Car Museum and we've gotten kind of a private tour of some of the spaces. And then to have all the cars out today, really test driving them so that we have talking points. And really, after the whole morning, the biggest talking point I came away with was wow. Just,
that is a talking point.
Can't really get any more specific than wow.
So there are 4 amazing cars in this car raffle. So let's go through them. The first, well, let's start with the 2, and then we'll kind of wind up at the Dodge versus Chevy. But, we were out there on Labor Day weekend, Jennifer, at the Boniface Hires Kia stores. Now, folks, again, Joe Steckler, our president and founder, goes way back with AJ Hires, and they have gone over the years together. And as AJ himself said, they've raised millions for charities throughout Brevard County, both in terms of Joe's work with the Alzheimer's, but also in terms of the work with helping seniors and just doing the right thing. But we were out there at that Kia store, and I remember you were visibly impressed with what you saw in the Kia, because it was just an amazing car. It's a Kia Sportage, a 2020 Kia Sportage, which to describe it is one of, I guess you call it a crossover vehicle. It's not quite the full-size SUV, but it's not a low-to-the-ground car either.
Right. I would call it a small SUV. But it really is a great car. I have driven it before COVID. We did a couple of events, and I got to drive that to and from. And so it really is a nice ride, and it's very functional. You can put, especially if you have a larger family, you can put everybody in that and have a ton of room in the back for everything else. So it's a really nice car. And the name of the gentleman's escaping me. He was incredibly knowledgeable.
About
that
Jim
car.
Monahan is.
Jim,
he
yes,
knows it
man.
inside and out. And I remember you joking about I could stick my surfboard on top of this. It was pretty cool.
It would look a lot better on top of that than on my Mini.
And then the other car that we were also all oohing and awing about is the Mazda Miata, and of course the one that we're always showing is the Mazda Miata convertible. Now again, we've had the chance to have that out because that was one of the cars actually we had last year in the running that somebody could choose from. And I always saw it's like the opposite of the spectrum. It's like a personal car, but boy, what a fun personal car.
It is so, when it came out today, and we were looking at it, it was just beautiful.
That color of the
color
paint.
was gorgeous.
And they've just tweaked the Miata a little bit, and it just looks better and better. So today, the one that was out there was just fantastic. I really liked that one.
Yeah, and I remember talking with Andrew, who's one of the great gentlemen that helps us, Mark Pylock's team. Mark is the owner of the American Muscle Car Museum. What a magnanimous gentleman he is. He is kindly, since the day he's opened the museum, he's kindly invited Joe and the Helping Seniors team to have our car raffles there, and such a gracious host. Last year, when everybody was there, he provided beer and snacks and waters and sodas, and it was just fantastic. And this year, he said, while we can't have the crowd on the car raffle day because of COVID, he said, I want to do this for the seniors. And I am, as soon as the governor relaxes the restrictions, he said, we'll put 3 dates on the calendar. And not only will I open the museum so that Helping Seniors ticket holders will come in as my guest. He said, not only that, I'll make sure there's pizza and soda and stuff, and it'll be a pleasant afternoon out, and everybody can just enjoy Mark's amazing collection. But Andrew, who is one of the team members, he's actually in charge of a lot of the things that go on there. He said, I had a Miata, and he said, these cars just get better and better and better. So that kind of brings us down to what we were prepping for today with the Dodge versus Chevy challenge, because there is a Helping Seniors car raffle survey just for fun. If you go to helpingseniors.carraffle.com, helpingseniors.carraffle.com, you can click and tell us which car would be your favorite. And so right now what we're experiencing is so funny. I love saying this because we're in election time and everybody gets so worked up about polls and things and who's in the lead or who's not in the lead. And they always, you always hear them talk about margin of error. So it means that we really don't know, do we? And so it's actually the same with the car. The Chevy has it just by a nose, but it's really in the margin of error with the Dodge Challenger. So those are the two top contenders with the other two cars just literally right behind. So we thought it would be fun if we set up a Dodge versus Chevy challenge and had because we've asked you guys which cars you know that each one of you have preferred. Now technically both of you have been on the Dodge team, and Ashley Caswell, who also works with you over at Hibiscus, and also Ricky Montgomery, who works with you over at Seniors Helping Seniors, they ended up being on the Chevy team. So you guys were talking about, kind of trash talking about which car was better, and so today you guys got to test drive a little bit and get set up for that big challenge that we're going to show on Saturday. So what did you guys think about these cars?
You know, I will say I was always Team Dodge, and I can't say that with 100% faith right now. You know, it was so hard to think about either one of them going away from me. I wanted to drive, can I drive two cars at once? Can I take them both home? No, the Dodge is a great car. That Challenger is a great car. Of course, again, they're muscle cars, and I love the Challenger. I do. But getting into that Camaro and being able to see the G's you're pulling when you put the
which is
pedal
amazing.
Down, to burn some rubber. I mean, how often do you get to do that? And so everyone out there should get their ticket, 5 for 100, because it's a very good odds of winning. And I will testify that even if you don't have the capability of taking it out and literally putting the pedal to the metal, I have done it in both. And it's amazing. And I think we're getting to do it again on Saturday out there with the Dodge Chevy Challenge.
That's exactly right. And Jennifer?
I can't agree more. I love the look of the Charger or the Challenger. It just looks like that classic muscle car, especially the one we drove this morning, white with the black stripes. I mean, it's a classic car. And the engine, when you turn it on, it just growls.
Oh, yeah.
But getting to drive the Camaro today, I was really surprised. It is, when you sit in there, you do it a little bit lower than the Challenger, and you are kind of encompassed. You're almost in a cockpit, and it was fun.
And it's so funny because both of you guys were actually representing Team Dodge, and so Ashley and Ricky, who are not here to on the radio show with us today, they were representing Team Chevy, but they got to drive that Dodge. And I think all I remember when they pulled back into the Dodge was a bunch of giggling. It was we had so much fun.
Ricky wanted to take that one home.
Yeah. Well, I think we captured a couple of videos of us while we were in each one of us driving, and both times when we really got to let it go wide open in both cars, there was, I don't consider myself a woohoo, but I think there was a really.
Oh, I definitely woohooed.
There was, we just, both of us driving those, each one of us, both cars, it was just such a rush. So much fun.
It's amazing. Hal, who is our technical director for all these things with cameras and computers and everything, he had set you guys up with GoPros and stuff. I cannot wait to see some of that footage. There's going to be all kinds of fun stuff as you guys were whipping around in these cars.
Hal is a brave man. He's a very brave man.
When we got in the cars, each time we were kind of prepping each other and saying, okay, well, we'll be on camera and we need to cover some points and things like that, some talking points. And man, you take those cars off and you forget.
There's no talking points. It's just fun.
It's just, oh wow, yeah, look at this. I can do this and I can do that, and taking the turns, and oh my gosh. So, I feel like I need some blackmail leverage because there's got to be a blooper reel.
Well,
when I took my hands off the wheel.
Oops. So what I remember one time, and I think you mentioned this already, but I remember one time you just finished tooling around the track and came up with a microphone and asked you what you thought, and you said, for $25 and I could have this car? And I was thinking, that's why you have to get involved in the Helping Seniors car raffle, because number one, you do have a shot at winning a car, and it's happened every year, so it's going to happen again this year. And I remember, you remember, Jennifer, because you were there when they did the pool last year. Mark Pylock's wife reached in there, and Tatiana pulled out that ticket, and then Mark was so skillful at how he read it out. He kept us all in suspense, and you could see, and he read that last number, and everybody was quiet. And then somebody literally nudged the lady and goes, That's
It's
your
you.
ticket.
It's you. She was just so dumbfounded
And
that
she
it was
was like,
her.
I can't believe this. It's incredible. And so then she decided, I want the car sitting right here. This one you guys brought as the show car to the museum that night. So that's what she's tooling around in. We're going to get an interview with her, and we're going to air that before we do the drawing, because she's kind of like one of the rock stars of the whole thing now, driving around that cool 2019 Dodge. But even the gentleman who the year before, he lived in Satellite Beach. He won that beautiful 1951 Ford, and he said, I love the car. He said, I'm not sure what to do with it because I don't know what to do, but I really do need a Jeep. So AJ, being AJ, he goes like, we can work that out. So he made sure the guy got a beautiful Jeep. AJ was able to take back into his collection that beautiful car that he had donated to the Helping Seniors organization. And the guy was so happy because he got a beautiful car, and it's all good. So you got to get your tickets, helpingseniorscarraffle.com, helpingseniorscarraffle.com. So we're kind of getting from John Harper that we're getting close to the end of the show, but John, it's really important people do the part, get the tickets for the Helping Seniors Car Raffle by either calling or getting the ticket online.
They will not regret it. As Jennifer said, for just $25, it's the best thrill you can get for that price.
I think so. So on behalf of Joe Steckler, our president founder, Kim Bernard, our education specialist, the entire Helping Seniors team, thanks for joining us on the radio today, and be looking for the Dodge versus Chevy Challenge on Saturday. And get your tickets, helpingseniorscarraffle.com. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.